What's up? Jonah24 coming at you with a quick tutorial on editing podcasts. So this will be part one of a multiple part series, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The first thing I'm going to talk about right off the bat is recording. So I used an Audix i5 for this. For these two tracks, Brian and John, are Audix i5s. So I want to go over some problems that you may have and ways to sort of edit around them. So one thing that I like to do is I like to put some basic effects over each voice just to sort of make it sound better and to reduce the pops that you might have, because we currently don't have pop filters. And it's something you might be experiencing if you're not used to recording audio. And it's something you're going to probably notice, but it's something that can easily be edited out. The first thing I do, let's just listen to how it sounds dry.
Podcasts are like the new GarageBand, pretty much. It's because back in the day, whenever a group of white kids weren't good at sports, they would start a GarageBand, even if they weren't good at it.
So it sounds okay. Yeah, the mic sounds a lot better than I thought, but the first thing we can add to make it sound a little better is we're going to add a basic EQ. So I use the voiceover. Preset. If you're using Logic, there's a lot of good presets. So it boosts some of the highs. And I cut out some of the lows, and I cut out the 100 frequency mainly to, instead of fixing every little pop that comes up, this will sort of take out the sort of beef that comes in with the pops.
That was a personal attack.
So let me find it. Okay, so here's a pop. You can see it. You can see it right here. It's essentially all the P's and any sound where a lot of air comes out of your mouth sort of blows into the mic, and it can cause these problems. So it sounds like this.
Like a political podcast?
So that was with the EQ. I'm going to turn the EQ off so you can hear how it sounds without it.
It's like a political podcast.
So you get this big low end resonance that you don't necessarily want. And by turning on the EQ, we can cut a lot of that out. Especially this 100 frequency does a lot to cut it out.
So
this is it without. So you can hear how it improves it. And then the next thing that I'll add is a compressor. So compressors they take the highs and they lower them, and then they take the lows and they boost them to make the overall audio just more uniform, and it makes it sound certainly a sound that a lot of people are used to when listening to this type of thing. And because we're not using condenser microphones, we're using dynamic microphones, it helps to add a little bit of compression because the mic doesn't add it in already. I'm going to turn that on. So we're going to hear it without it.
Podcasts are like the new GarageBand.
And then we're going to turn it on.
Podcasts are like the new GarageBand.
You can sort of mess with it. I'll turn it all the way up just so you can sort of hear how it sounds.
Podcasts are like the new GarageBand. Podcasts are like the new GarageBand.
So you can hear how it sort of makes it sound, for lack of a better word, just more compressed. And it's generally just a good thing to add. The last thing I add is a noise gate. So when they're not talking, it filters out all the background noise, which is something that you kind of want to do. Also, one thing that you can see me do, I just sort of deleted sounds in the background. But you're not going to want to do that for a whole hour-long podcast. So the noise gate helps. That's the end of this video. Be sure to leave a like if you found it helpful. Also be sure to check out my band, Cheyenne Dan. We have a bunch of music coming out. It's probably playing right now. And then also look up Jonah24 on Spotify. That's my solo music. I do some rapping. I do some beat making. Bunch of random stuff. It's all fun. So thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you want to support the dream. My skin is so distressed.